What is going on, guys? How y'all doing this very late evening review? This is the Club of the Man 1993, and I am here live for a brief live review of this week's episode of NXT. Normally, I would not do a review this late on a work night, but NXT is not that long of a show. It was only a 2-hour show, and yeah, I definitely had to do this review tonight, because if not, I would have not been able to do reviews probably till Sunday night. Again, I'm definitely not going to be able to review SmackDown tomorrow night or watch it tomorrow night. I have a video gig tomorrow night and Saturday all day. Then Sunday, my friend's Christmas party. So, probably the SmackDown highlights going to be watched this weekend. And the review probably late Sunday. If not, then Monday after work. So, I had to do this one tonight. So, we're going to talk about NXT this week. It was a fallout show from TakeOver War Games 2. War Games 4. And we are now on the road to New Year's Evil, which will be the first episode of NXT of the new year. Yes, it's literally going to be called New Year's Evil, where Finn Balor will probably make his next NXT title defense. The first one he's done since his match with Kyle O'Reilly at TakeOver 31. Of course, that's breaking the whole rule of you have to defend the title every 30 days, but with how many injuries we've had, NXT I guess did not want to risk vacating the title again after they had to vacate it when Karrion Kross suffered that shoulder injury in his match with Keith Lee at TakeOver 30. But the good news is Karrion Kross is back, as he made his return on this week's episode of NXT. So we'll talk about that. And it was not a bad episode. Some good, some meh, some whatevers. But we'll get into it as we talk about this show pretty quickly again, because I gotta get to bed. But like I said, it's only as much as I can do. Anyways, wait, what the heck? I'm sorry, I just saw this one post. Oh, never mind. Anyways, so sorry, I saw something that got distracted. An article that distracted me. Anyways, so let's talk about the show. So of course we had like a hype video to start off the show with Finn Balor, basically, as the focus is now coming back on the NXT champion since he's been out for a while. Again, enough of that whole the cat is back. You're putting in my Kitty Ditter stuff again. I didn't like that promo. I'm sorry. I thought that was a dumb promo. Well, not dumb, but just a hokey promo for Finn Balor. So we start off the show with Balor in the ring. He basically says the time for games and factions is over. Some people love him, some people hate him. He doesn't care. It's Wednesday and it's his show. And of course, basically, he's just saying, come on out if you want a shot at me. And of course, first person to come out is Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne versus Finn Balor actually would be an excellent match. I don't think we've seen that match yet, but I think that would be an excellent match sure to have. Dunne says that him and Balor, they're a lot alike. They both came from overseas and made a name for themselves. So it's time they stand face to face. It's only a matter of time before he puts Balor on the shelf and takes the title. Then out comes Kyle O'Reilly. Apologizes for interrupting, but his invitation must have been lost in the mail. He mentions how him and Peter have a history. On Sunday they went to war, and the Era won. And Finn, yeah, he remembers Finn, the guy who he took to the limit and broke his own jaw. Sure, Balor won, but did he really win? Because he's been out for 2 months drinking through a straw. Saying his chances, even though I don't get why is Adam. I'm still a little wondering why is Adam Cole, even though before he was automatically cleared, but now the only person they were saying in the Undisputed Era that have not been cleared, as they had the package to talk about the impact from the War Games matches. Why is Adam Cole not taking a shot for the NXT title again? Like, that makes me a little confused why he's not doing that. But and again, I love Kyle O'Reilly, but wouldn't you think Adam Cole would be, not letting his good buddy, pass him up? But then came out Damian Priest. And again, Damian Priest I think was the star of this segment. The promos that he cut was pretty slick, and the comebacks he had, the insults were actually pretty good. He says how Priest versus Balor is a marquee match. Everybody wants to see it. So how about it? Which they had an excellent match, of course, at TakeOver in Your House. That was like a stock rising match for Damian Priest, since he took that bump through the steel steps, which was crazy. So while Priest, O'Reilly, and Dunn start bickering over one another, Finn starts to walk up the ramp. And like, whoa, where are you going? And Balor says they interrupted him. But at New Year's Evil, he's going to defend the belt. But against who? That's Regal's job. And of course, I think it's probably going to be one of those three. But then things change. Because Karrion Kross's music hits. And the only person that comes out, though, is Scarlett. And again, we haven't seen either one of Kross or Scarlett since the night that Kross had to relinquish the championship. Scarlett comes out, and Finn smiles and says, "Of course." And then Balor steps to her and says he knows what she's going to say. Tick-tock. Well, he tells her to tell her man that when Kross is ready, so is he. And as Balor goes to leave, Damian Priest calls out Scarlett and says, "Hey, smoke show." If Kross wants a fight, all he has to do is ask, like a man. Basically said, stop, waiting in the car, basically, and tell your boy to stop waiting in the car and whatnot and stuff. Like, he's showing some gutsy stuff, saying to, Karrion Kross, the guy who's basically the NXT's Brock Lesnar. She smiles and, she walks away. But of course, that's the last time we saw her, though. Then Dunn was walking backstage out of the building, and then he's being interviewed until Killian Dane charges and he attacks, talking about how Dunn tried to end his career, and they're separated, and announced they're having a match later. This is going back to whenever Pat McAfee's crew injured Killian Dane and rode him off television for a little bit with that assault by their car, and they smashed him with the car door. Jake Atlas took on Isaiah Swerve Scott. Kind of a quick match. Could have given these guys a little more time. Atlas wins yet again, and Swerve did not look happy. He just walks out of the ring, doesn't even bother to shake Atlas's hand, which I thought was odd, because I don't think they should be turning Swerve heel. Again, he'd be too over for sure once the fans came back. And him being a heel does not make any sense. They're just randomly turning people heel for no godforsaken reason. Scott should not be a heel. And if anything, he should be Cruiserweight champion by now, I still believe. But they're building up Jake Atlas, he's already had a couple chances already against Santos Escobar. But I'm sorry, Kurt Stallion, whoever the hell he is apparently the number one contender. Don't know who he is. Then we get this promo from Tommaso Ciampa, which is continuing to give me the stay from the past few weeks and continuing to make me wonder more. I thought it was a yes, but I'm like, no way, I'm not sure now. Is Tommaso Ciampa a face or a heel? He returned as a heel when he beat the crap out of Jake Atlas. They even teased a feud between him and Kyle O'Reilly. This promo, though, and his mission lean towards tweener now. I really don't know for sure what Ciampa is. So he's in the garage talking, and he picked Timothy Thatcher because he had to know. And now no one is safe. He's going to just be direct. He impersonates Cameron Grimes saying his name. Al Grimes is the squeakiest wheel, and that could be confidence. Or he could be masking security. But it's never going to find out which one it is. Basically, he's just looking to just, blow through the talent and, expose their weaknesses. So, he's still taking on all heels right now. But I don't think he was a complete babyface in this promo either. I mean, he's supposed to be, I think he's supposed to be saying, I think he was supposed to be saying, lost my train of thought, shoot. I think he should be, again, it just feels like he's still heel. But he's feuding with all heels. So I don't know what they're going to do. I personally think he should be staying heel. But like I've said before, Tommaso Ciampa may have just been one of those guys who's just run out of options in NXT. So whatever. Then we have this random triple threat match with Grizzled Young Veterans, Everrise, and Imperium. Why are they pushing Everrise? Seriously, like what? Like what was the point of it? What's the point of Everrise being involved in this feud? I really don't know. Grizzled Young Veterans won. I hope they're not turning Grizzled Young Veterans face because they have no need to be faces. They're excellent as heels. They're basically like the newest revival. The revival, the old school wrestling heels, great psychology. That's what who they are. But Zach Gibson as a heel, as a face for crying out loud, no. I hope this isn't a face turn. This is just they're being both like the baby faces in this triple threat feud, but whatever. So we'll see. We of course get the fallout from the War Games matches, from both the men and the women. Pat McAfee doesn't have a live comment, but we hear a clip of his Monday Night show with his neck brace on. Danny Burch talks about the damage done to Oney Lorcan's face. Bobby Fish FaceTimes to reveal he had surgery on his triceps. Dakota Kai puts over the offense she took and says we won't see her for a while. And then all this on top of Candice LeRae, who hurt her arm. So yeah, so obviously there was some brutal fallout from those War Games matches. Toni Storm was interviewed, saying their War Games match win should get her a title shot, even though Raquel Gonzalez made the same claim in the video package, and she was the one who had pinned the champion. I still think it should have been Toni. Io walks up and says, now that War Games over, all she cares about is the title, and she doesn't have an issue with Toni. She doesn't like her. So they both start brawling to the ring. Before Toni can get the upper hand more, Ember Moon came out for some payback because Toni basically talked about how Ember Moon stole her own thunder and whatnot. So Ember attacks Toni for retribution. I can't say that without also revenge on Toni for turning on her from the previous few weeks ago, and basically sets up for Io Shirai to hit the moonsault on Toni Storm. But yeah, so obviously we're going to be seeing probably Io and Raquel at New Year's Evil, as they're calling it, whatever. But next actual takeover, Io Shirai and Toni Storm. It's the right route to go. I think that's where Toni will win the NXT Women's Championship. Tommaso Ciampa took on Cameron Grimes. Match was fine. Timothy Thatcher came out and was watching the match. And then Tyler Rust runs into the ring, whatever his name is, and he tries to basically interfere, but it didn't work out as Ciampa defeated Grimes. Ciampa then confronted Thatcher on his way out, accusing him of sending, Rux against him, but Thatcher denies it, but Ciampa says he still needs to teach him some more. So I guess this feud with Ciampa and Thatcher is continuing. I'm not sure why, but yeah, their match at TakeOver was good. Was still a tad long, and like I said, Thatcher should have won that. So Grimes then wants a word with Thatcher, but he puts him in an ankle lock, so that's that for Grimes. Raquel Gonzalez interviewed saying TakeOver was the biggest night of her career, but she's mad that Ember took out Dakota. She's gonna get revenge tonight. We see another segment with Boa and Xia Li, some intense training. I still don't get what this is. It's very hokey. And then we have this segment there. We have Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae, Indy Hartwell, and Austin Theory. Gargano is dancing to his music. He says he promised to show us the way for months. They put over the way and basically emphasize, and I guess is what they're calling themselves now, the way, because they've been saying that the Johnny Gargano way is the way, but then again, like I said, Johnny Gargano has been one of the most unsuccessful heels. And at this point, we're just trying to get serious that, he's actually started up a stable now, and it's, why did they do this months ago when they could have probably gotten momentum going for Johnny quicker as a heel, but again, it's just not been, what I've said about this rant, about Johnny being a heel. So, obviously, he's calling, Johnny and Candice call themselves the present, and Indy Hartwell and Austin Theory is the future. He runs down all their accomplishments as examples of the way, but then Theory randomly screams out the Milky Way. Johnny just basically just like gives him a glare, but Indy's like, anyway. So yeah, they're the way now. Johnny says his wife is very humble, but he got her something to make it official that she's Mrs. War Games, which is a random present of a trophy with Shotzi Blackheart's head on top. I am pretty sure, from revenge from Candice destroying her tank, Shotzi is going to destroy that trophy. I'm telling you right now, Shotzi is destroying that in coming weeks. Candice is upset she didn't get Johnny something, but Johnny's like, all I need is my North American Championship. And along showing off how he and Austin Theory can high five, they look at each other, and just, all that jazz. It's weird. Damian Priest comes out and first, he says Priest and Ruff are going to have a tag match next week against Gargano and Theory, but he has a theory that they will win. Out comes Priest, who offers congratulations on the win and a sweet reveal. He also asks Theory if he still has that steel pipe, because he's going to come down there and shove it up his ass. So as he starts to walk down to get his revenge, he gets jumped by the returning Karrion Kross, obviously saying, why don't you tell your boy not to wait out in the car and come out and fight like a man? Well, he did. He beat the crap out of Priest, powerballed him through the table, and walked back out to the car, and him and Scarlett just drove away. So, you want him to come in and face him like a man? Yeah, he did. So Karrion Kross is back and most likely win the NXT Championship back off of Finn Balor at NXT New Year Evil. So it's probably happening then. Bell was supposed to be on Kross to begin with, so he got hurt. So fine, whatever. And then, of course, Mackenzie Mitchell catches up with Tyler Rust, who interfered in the match with Tommaso Ciampa and Cameron Grimes. Before you can answer, though, if he's working with Thatcher, Malcolm Bivens returns. And again, it's the first time we've seen Bivens since his random tag team in the Sheer, whatever fact it's called. I wasn't crazy about them. They just disappeared off of TV. Again, I wasn't crazy about them anyways to begin with. But he says he's seen Rust's initiative and they need to talk. So I guess they're going to work together now. Who knows? Pete Dunne took on Killian Dane. Probably one of Dane's better matches in NXT since he came back. Again, like I said, I just don't get how did Killian Dane go through being like a monster with sanity to barely get a chance on the main roster, coming back to NXT, and he's just not the same still. And he's still in this weird-ass tag team with him and Drake Maverick, which I still think is just not working to me. But he had a good match here. Pete Dunne wins at the bitter end. It was a weird-looking bitter end, though. He really hit it clean on him, but whatever. Of course, Drake tries to console Dane, but Dane wants none of it. Of course he doesn't. Leon Ruff being interviewed. Wants to know if he's concerned about Damian Priest next week. He says that, and then Johnny and Austin walked through and they saw what Kross did to Priest, and he's probably shooting imagery arrows in a hospital bed somewhere, but they know Leon is a fighter, so he can take on them 2-on-1, until Kushida walks up and tells Ruff he'll be his partner. So guessing maybe at NXT New Year's Evil, maybe you'll get Gargano and Kushida for the North American Championship. I'd like to see the match. Be good. Fine. And then we have our main event, Ember Moon and Raquel Gonzalez. A pretty good match. Raquel eventually would get the victory, though, over Ember Moon. With the Texan lift her up for a second attempt and a leg-in slam, getting the 3. But pretty good back and forth match, some pretty good near falls. After the match, Toni Storm comes down to get her revenge over Moon, saying, "What do we have here?" She goes to lift Moon up, but then here comes Rhea Ripley, and of course, Toni jumped when Rhea's music hit. She came down and stares down Storm, but Storm gets out of the ring, and then Raquel moves Storm out of the way, and her and Rhea stare each other down, and they back off. Obviously, there's unfinished business there. So yeah, that's that's NXT. I gave it a B. There was only one vote for this on my polls, and they gave it an A. I gave it a B. Probably not as good as I hyped it up, saying it was giving it a B, but not a bad Fallout show. I gave it a B. And we're on the road again to New Year's Evil, and that's the show. Again, I'm tired. I'm going to read the live chat really quick. What's up, Tyler? Worst Rumble winner has to be Batista and Orton. Dobby, the free elf. Hi, Ashley. Hello, Peyton. And then worst pay-per-view of the year, he's saying is Extreme Rules 2020. We still have one more pay-per-view to get through, and of course then we'll see whether it's for sure for that, but we got that. Anyways, guys, that's NXT, guys. Again, I gave it the B. I'm tired. I'm going to bed. Again, don't expect another live review from me probably until Sunday night at the earliest, because I literally am booked all weekend. So, what are your thoughts on NXT, guys? Your thoughts down in the comment section below. Slap a like on the video, subscribe or comment on my channel. Follow me on Twitter at DemandAirboy93. Until then, guys, I am checking out. Have a great night. Sleep tight. Sweet dreams. Peace out, everybody.